We have a video showing my 1950s made PMG made by AWA 300 series telephone. I got this for $65, and the store owner told me this phone is not in working order, but I was able to get this phone going again by the manual and by another phone that was similar to this, and I looked inside to figure out how the wine wasn't that one get it to work in this one. It had a lot of paint chips on it, and what else was missing is missing the switch hook. Sometimes with these old phones with the paint chips, you just get a very light grit sandpaper and rub it really lightly, and it'll take the scratches out, and then you just polish it with bakelite polish to shine it back up again. This phone has the original 50s connection on it, but I believe this is a rare type of plug because I only got two phones with these, and the rest of my 300s have the junction box on it. So a 4-pin plug, and there's the other type of plug got off eBay. Then on the end of that there's an RJ called iHardwired on this, make it work on the modern system, because this is going to my NBN router, what goes out on the internet to make this dial. But I was lied to by my NBN provider. They said rotary dial telephones would not work on the NBN, but this phone is not going to be. None of my rotary phones are converted to touch tone dialing. This is on dial in normal pulse dialing from the 50s, and it will set the pulse. I'm going to demonstrate that now. Mum's mobile number. Receiver, working fine. Same on the other end. And this phone has the original microphone and original receiver as well. This will give me a busy signal. I'll unplug that. If I find a tiny tool, I'll see if an old match head is enough to lift the switch. There it is. This has the original microphone in there. And then original transmitter in there. And if I take this off carefully, there's the transmitter in there. And I'll show you just, one of my viewers did say rotary telephones do not work on NBN. I said that in the a couple of videos back. But it depends what NBN modem. I've had two in the past. An older NBN modem and a modern one I got. This is the modern one. If you have one like this, pulse dialing phones will work straight, because this is plugged straight into the line and it goes straight to the telephone. If you have the older one from Origin, it will not accept pulse dialing. It will won't dial, and you have to get yourself a pulse to tone. In my old house, I had a PABX. I don't use that anymore, but I had a PABX what converted the pulse into tone. Then it dialed that way. But now with my new modem, I don't have to worry about converting it to pulse. But now I'll let you hear the bell. Siri, call home.
Calling home. Home.
And you hear my voice on clearly. Now I'm going to pause the video for a few seconds while I go and find the manual I have for these old phones. And the manual I have is the original manual from the 50s, no, from the 30s right up to the 50s. And I'll go and get the manual and show you. Right, back. This is the manual I go by. This came from an ex-telephone engineer who gave me this for free in an antique store. The one who was selling all the phones. Said, when I called it the antique, so she was there and she said, I could have all these old manuals. I got a few old manuals. This came from an ex-telephone engineer. But this is a proper manual. These aren't replicas like you can see sometimes people farm sell copies. This is actually the original one. And in this book, if I'm going to find it, where is it? It shows this particular telephone. What's this one here? But you see, it shows a junction box on this one. This is the diagram I went through. And in the end, I just looked inside my phone 400 to figure it out, and I just figured out why the bell wouldn't work. But it also shows the central battery ones I do own, and then that one. And this shows the proper phones in it. So if you have any problems with old phones, this manual is pretty helpful when you're trying to get these working again. But like I said, most NBN modes will not accept these type of dialing. You might have to install a rotor trying to make it work, but this is an end of the video showing my vintage 1950s 300 series telephone.